Do you want to win big? These Genesys community members have scored life-changing prizes such as
a pair of sunglasses that had an MP3 player built in,
children's tablet, which I chose for our granddaughter,
book collections, and so I was able to pick two that I really wanted.
I won the Harry Potter Trivial Pursuit game, and I have yet to lose after playing 5 times with my family.
The Hammer treasure box, the beach towels, it's very nice.
Okay, maybe not life-changing, but definitely fun and exciting. And the action never ends. To close out 2022, we're doing bi-weekly trivia events, which gives you the chance to win a dream gift for yourself or someone else, just in time for the holidays. So head on over to the community prize wall and select the contest you want to play for the chance to pick your life-changing, super cool prize today.
Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Genesys Cloud Community's Q&A show, the show where we answer your pressing questions in the Genesys Cloud online community. My name is Matt Lawson. I'm your online community manager, and today we're talking about digital bot flows. Oh, sounds pretty good, right? This functionality is brand new, a little different from other bot flows that we've talked about in the past, and today you're going to get a sneak peek of what is involved. Also, stay tuned. You'll learn how you can take advantage of a free trial to test it out. Not a bad gig, right? I think there are also some new packages you can try out if you want to add some stuff to your existing service or whatever, but we get into that more in the episode. Before we hop into that hot demo though, please swing into the community. At the end of the year, we're going to have some fun. We're doing bi-weekly trivia events to celebrate the holidays, the end of the year, friends, family, fast food, a little bit of everything. Please come by and have some fun with us. We'd love to see you there. For now, though, we have some great friends joining us who are going to talk about these digital bot flows. One of them came in all the way from London just to record, and the other is, a Genesys regular. You've probably seen him in some community events yourself. Hope you enjoy the demo. Hope you enjoy some trivia. Let's go ahead and get started. Hey, Gemma, Mitch, welcome to the Q&A show. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for having us.
Good. No, thank you for being here. Especially it's early in the morning. We're recording in London time of all things because Gemma is here. Gemma, I've never met you. Actually, Mitch, I've never met you either. I can't wait to do some real quick introductions. Let's start with ladies first. Gemma, tell us
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Gemma Alvarez. I've actually been at Genesys now for about 3 months. I started middle of July, which was perfect timing because by the end of August, we went to GA for digital bot flows, which is what we're going to speak to about today. But previous to Genesys, I've worked at Microsoft, Oracle. I was a global product owner for Toby at Vodafone, which is where the majority of my chatbot experience comes from. And I also worked at AO.
Cool. When you started that off, I was really afraid you were going to be like, I've actually been on this show before. That's what I was afraid of, because that has happened to me. Not often, but it has happened.
No, total newbie here.
Cool. Well, welcome to Genesys. Welcome to the show. Mitch, what about you?
Yeah, I've actually only been here for about 6 months now as well. So it's a pretty new team releasing all of this. We're happy to bring some fresh insights and experience to both digital bots and bot flows.
Cool. Well, I can't wait to have you guys on the show. One of the things that we do as a tradition around here when we have a new guest is we like to ask an icebreaker question, something so that we can get to know you beyond your role at Genesys or what you do. So the icebreaker question that I have for you all today is we're coming up on Halloween, which is my favorite holiday. And I would love to know, what is your favorite Halloween costume that you've ever worn?
Oh, okay. I'll take this one first. So I love Halloween as well. It's my favorite time of year. So we go all out. We have like a little trail. We decorate our driveway. Oh, cool. Last year, they had a parade nearby, and we spent so long doing our costumes. We came in too late after the competition. And they said we would have won
Oh.
if we'd made it in time. But they took a photo of us and put it in the newsletter anyway. And we did a bit of a family effort. So we had our youngest dressed as a little bat for Batman. And I went as Harley Quinn, and my husband was the Joker.
Cool.
My eldest, however, she didn't want to join in, even though she had a bat costume, and she went as a pirate.
She was a pirate?
Yeah. And you just learn never to argue with a 6-year-old. So
right. I'm sure there's room for her in the DC universe somewhere. That's fine.
Definitely. She's more of a Wonder Woman now fan.
Oh, cool. Well, good. She found her way then. Mitch, what about you?
I actually have to say I have 2. I think I've been Super Mario 4 times in my life.
Perfect.
It's an
I can
easy
imagine
costume.
that, Mitch.
Yeah. And I actually have a homemade hat that my mom made me when I was probably 8, because we didn't know how to buy a Mario hat, and I've used that hat all 4 times.
That's so cool.
I would love
I
to
do
see that hat.
Yeah, if you have a picture, send it my way. I'll in the show notes or whatever. That's really funny.
And my real favorite is one year I was actually the Jack in the Box guy, and I made this huge paper mache head of the Jack in the Box person, and I wore it the entire Halloween with these 2 tiny little eye holes. I couldn't see where I was going. I was miserably hot, and I was so stubborn. I just stuck it out all night long.
That's funny. Very cool. I love creative Halloween costumes, and I think you both did a great job. So, guys, what I wanted to ask as we're getting started is we've talked about bots on the show before. Today, I know things are changing. We're putting out some new, you're here in particular to talk about some new features that are coming out. But what's going to make this conversation different from the conversations that we've had previously, or maybe, the knowledge that our viewers may already have?
Yeah, so bots have a certain value that they provide, and we'll get into that. But we've just released the digital bot flows. It's a new flow type on Genesys Cloud. And while you may have seen 1 or 2 announcements about it, we really want to dive deep on the value that it's going to provide, specifically compared to the bot flows that we've always had.
Why would somebody choose to build bots with Genesys bot flows? How is our approach unique versus leading, big tech and specialist conversational AI platforms?
What's really cool is that big tech does have a lot of really impressive products. The user experience is really nice. The AI behind it is powerful. And with these new releases and over time, we've really caught up to some of those aspects, right? Inside of Architect, we have a nice drag and drop user experience. The AI and NLU behind the algorithms is really powerful. We've done our own benchmarking, and it really does keep up. So the way that Genesys differentiates themselves is based on the integration we have with the rest of the platform. There's no bot on the planet that's going to answer 100% of questions. In some cases, you're going to need to pull in an agent. And a lot of that data is the same. And you really want that to be a seamless user experience for the person actually having the chat. Genesys and the contact center as a service providers are really the best place to do that. We can provide that seamless integration where a user can come in, see a single chat widget, talk to a bot, collect some data, and if needed, pass it over to an agent. And the agent can pick up that conversation with all of the info right at their hands, with no integration work for any of our customers, right? We are one platform and we deliver everything together. If you were to include any kind of a third party, right, there is just a piece of integration work where you have to understand how to pass that data around, how to pull in an agent, how to make a seamless experience where everything shows appropriately. And that's not an easy task in all cases. So having it all in one place really helps all pieces of the puzzle learn from each other. And beyond that, we've learned over time that it's really hard to build a single bot and deploy it everywhere. Voice and digital mediums are simply different. The way people talk is different, so your NLU needs to be different. The way you can respond is going to be different, right? You can't show a picture on the phone. It's pretty obvious. So you could build a platform that you might be able to build a simple conversation, deploy it everywhere, but we have just released 2 different types of bot flows. We've had the dialogue engine bot flows that we've had for a while now, and that's going to be great for voice user experiences. We're really going to fine tune the tools and controls you have for voice. And then we have the digital bot flows, which is the new flow type that is really going to focus on a great digital experience. And that's really going to be the foundation for where we take these 2 products. Rest assured, we understand kind of some of the difficulties of 2 flow types. So we'll do our best to make that easy. You'll see that in our roadmap.
Cool.
But we really feel that digital bot flows sets us apart in a unique way, as well as the integration with the rest of Genesys Cloud.
Cool. Gemma, this next question is going to be for you. We've heard about dialogue engine bot flows for some time. Now, what are digital bot flows and how do they work exactly?
Okay, so we'll show a little bit more on this with the demo. But essentially, as Mitch alluded to, we've split this away because we see that we want to be the best in breed when it comes to digital. And that is about more visual controls, rich media support, having those digital interactions. When a end user comes into this experience, they're much more in discoverable and analytical mode than they would potentially be within the voice channel. So we want to make sure that we're giving that exceptional customer experience that's really kind of immersive in what we do. So I'm going to take an example from my Vodafone days, just to kind of put that use case in reality. So imagine if I was a user and I start off within the voice channel and I'm calling up because my bills come in, which is the unexpected bill, like the famous use case for telecoms. And I'm looking at this and I might start off within the voice channel, and we should have that ability to pick up that use case of, okay, they want to query their bill, but actually we want to deliver that within a digital experience. So that's where I can start to see some of this kind of best of breed of these two areas potentially coming together and being able to deflect from that. But thinking about, all those different use cases, really enhancing those kind of experiences where someone is reading, they want to come back and they want to learn, feels more in tune with the digital experience. And obviously we've just released digital bot flows, so it's only the beginning, but I have a really ambitious roadmap going forwards. So we want to really drive to become the leaders in digital.
Well, I can't wait to see your demo. If you guys want to, go ahead and get started.
So part of this demo, I'm going to show you today what that end user experience looks like from the bot side, and then I'll be passing over to Mitch, who will be showing how that works in the background with Genesys Cloud. So as you can see, we've pulled together a website. It's just like any normal website with lovely imagery, a little bit of history around how they started, their story and their vision and so on. So you can see that the brand colors here are very kind of brown, like coffee, and white. So what we've done here is we can customize the colors within this widget. But again, we can try and customize it even more so than we already had done today. So when I've opened this widget, the chatbot introduces itself. It asks the user, how can I help you today? So in this case, we're going to be Hannah, and she's come along and she is in discoverable mode. And she wants to learn a little bit more about different coffee machines. So you can see we start the journey with a digital menu, because that structured menu enables the user to understand what the chatbot can actually deal with. It guides them, especially if they don't know why they've come or what it can do, basically. So I'm going to learn about coffee. So I've tapped on this quick reply, and then it's asking the question around, here are the different types of coffee machines. What would you like to learn about? And she's thinking, I'm quite familiar with these ones, but AeroPress, that sounds new to me. So I tap on that. And then you can see that we obviously can show a little bit of text followed by an image. And this is exactly, what is so important about digital, because images can say 1,000 words. And you can see that if I'm looking at this, I can see it's for one person. Hannah lives on her own, so this is absolutely ideal. It's small, she can put it away. And you can see that it's only dealing with that one coffee. So she can start to understand what it would look like. And you can see here that we've actually gone back to the digital menu to see whether they want to progress this conversation in a different way. But if I was building this out for real as the customer, I potentially might want to attach an action to see if they're willing to buy this machine based on what they learned. So now I'm going to take a different approach where we've looked at that menu-driven approach, but now we want to look at more the smart stuff, the intelligence of intent-based. So she comes in and she's thinking about, how should I grind coffee beans? So you can see here, we've got the menu of coffee beans, but I could also put in that phrase. So when I put that in, this actually links out to knowledge. So we have a centralized place where you can build content, and that can be put in bots, it could put it in the support center, it can be put in multiple different places. So bot is only like one use of this knowledge. And the idea is you build that once and you can expose that content wherever you are. So you can see here in this example, it's got some like description, and then it's got another image showing, you know, what coffee beans look like when they're under extracted and when they're over extracted. So as I mentioned with knowledge, that you can build this and you can expose it in various different places, I'm actually going to jump now over to the support side. And you can see here we've got a search functionality. So I'm actually going to ask the same question just to show that experience. So how should I grind my coffee beans? It's already done the work for me, smart search. And you can see I've got that same level of information with the image, but it's on a much bigger screen to be able to take that information in. So over time, we'd want to obviously be able to really kind of create variations so that the chatbot's a lot more snappy versus this support center. So now I'm going to show you a different way of engaging with a chatbot that's actually invoked from what is known as Genesys predictive engagement. So you can see I've come in, I might have already bought a coffee machine. So Hannah's already gone off and she's bought it. And she's looking at this service page and she's looking at what they provide from a service level. And then she might go into support. And as you can see, it actually invokes the bot, which says it looks like one or more products you own are under recall. So it's already recognized who Hannah is, where she is within the page. Now, this is known as Genesys predictive engagement. So the idea of that is that it's able to predict what a user might have as a question or an issue and be able to almost invoke that chatbot in that point within the architect flow. So it means that you don't have to start at the beginning and find your way through in order to be able to get to this point. And it's all about improving that customer experience. Now, it does that in two different ways, which could be more of a rule-based engagement or an AI-based engagement. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to pass you over to Mitch, who's going to show how all these different elements come together as this incredible ecosystem and how it works in the background. So over to you, Mitch.
So this is the homepage of Genesys Cloud. And while it looks like there's a lot going on here, that really is a statement that adds to the value of all of the pieces that you have with just Genesys Cloud and our new AI experience bundle. There's a number of places that and tools that you can go to build a great solution. I've added a few here already to build this demo. The first one, which is really the first piece that someone interacts with, is that predictive engagement. So it actually tracks a user as they go through the site, and we see what pages they have or have not visited, as well as any segments that they matched. As Gemma said, we just used a really simple rule-based segment here. You can do a lot more if you build an outcome that builds an AI model around when someone is more or less likely to achieve an outcome. But we just have a very small amount of data, just the two of us testing. So we had to use a rule-based segment. And it was really just if they went to those two pages in a row, first the service tab and then the support tab. There really wasn't any more smarts behind it. But one really interesting piece was when they do fall into that segment, we told the flow to actually change flows. It should actually go to the recall flow instead of going to the normal hello, how can I help you flow. So we actually diverted traffic away when they matched that segment. The next piece to show is how we built the bot. So here we have our initial greeting. It really just checks, are they in that recall segment or not? If they are, go down this left-hand path saying there's a recall, can I transfer you? And if they accept the transfer, we'll call in an agent. We have more tools here called Genesys Predictive Routing, which can actually route them to the right agent at the right time for their specific problem. In this case, we're really the only agents here, so we're all equally as talented and it wouldn't route anywhere different. But we can really choose to route them to the right person to save everyone's time. The customer gets helped by the right agents, and the agents are matched with the problems best suited for them to handle. If they don't fall into that recall segment, we go down the normal path. Welcome to Copy Coffee. How can I help you? And they can choose from those different buttons in that digital menu. We then have a number of reusable tasks that we've created where we can show all of those different pieces of text. As we showed in the demo, if Hannah were to choose to learn more about the AeroPress, she sees this communicate block, and we have a nice editor to easily do some quick text editing as well as add an image. I know it shows all of the markdown. It's actually really easy to add an image. Everything is done for you. You just copy and paste the URL. You can see we have a really nice drag and drop flow editor. We can always add things. We can insert new blocks along the way. But another way to add content is through our knowledge base. So you're going to use flows if you want to have an in-depth back and forth conversation about whatever the user is talking about. For everything else, for all of the content you already have on your website, you can just build a simple knowledge base. And we have an engine up front that actually decides, is this question for your flows, or is this a knowledge question? And let's just pull up an article. This is what we saw with the how do I grind my coffee beans question. So if we look there, we can see all we did was add a single question, how should I grind my coffee beans? We added it to a category for some quick navigation. And then we have all of our text and images here as well. This lets it show up in two different places. The final piece to show is how do we actually embed the Genesys Web Messenger? We go back to our admin and we can see that we have messenger configurations and messenger deployments. In this case, we have our coffee demo and we can configure everything we need. Things like the colors, when to show, any types of positioning or languages, as well as what's very important is that support center that Gemma showed. You don't have to build an entire web page to build that FAQ center anymore. We can deploy it all for you by simply adding a single div tag to your HTML page. We can turn on support center, we can edit the text, we can choose which knowledge bases it's connected to, as well as the colors and the themes for support center. From there, all we would do is go to our website and at the bottom of our HTML page, copy and paste this script tag. You really don't have to be a developer to do any of this. It definitely helps to understand what's going on with the page, but I've taken this open source coffee project and just dropped in this script, right? I'm really not too technical. And because of all the instructions we had on Genesys Cloud, it was easy to do. Those are really the core pieces of the AI experience, from predictive engagement, beginning a conversation as necessary, walking them through flows, pulling in knowledge as needed, and that predictive routing that I mentioned about matching the customer with the right agent at the right time.
Hey, thanks so much for the great demo, guys. Just a few more questions. First one is, what's available today and how can teams activate this digital bot flow?
Yeah, so if you want to, obviously, there's a lot of customers that are already on bot flows, and some of them might want to migrate over to digital bot flows. So if they're interested in looking at how they go about doing that, like, please reach out to us or your sales rep. And then there could be Genesys customers who aren't using bots at all and want to just have a little bit of a test. There's a free trial that's available as well, so that they can actually start to test this out, get their hands onto the digital bot flows. But my one question, my one ask is, please feedback to me, because when we start thinking about the roadmap around digital bot flows, we always want to listen to everyone's feedback, be able to understand, what's the ease of use, what are the features that you feel that might be missing, because it's still in those early days. We're still trying to build out that digital roadmap.
So a couple of follow-ups on that. So is this available in the App Foundry, or how do people access it?
Yes, it is under the App Foundry. And it's under Dialogue Engine bot flows
Okay.
at the moment, but that page will be updated shortly.
Okay, cool. And
So you get everything.
And then once they have it downloaded, how do they give you feedback?
So we have a community called AHA. And in this community is where people can upload ideas of different features. And then we will be looking at that on a day-to-day basis. And then we'll be reviewing that, prioritizing that. And if there's lots of people voting on those same ideas, then we know that that's something that we need to start to look to prioritize and bring into our backlog.
Cool. Glad you guys are using AHA. That's great. Do you guys have anything planned as of now? Anything upcoming or new that relates to digital bot flows?
Yes. So we've shown you some of those, I guess, areas that digital bot flows is complementary to, such as knowledge. So we want to obviously improve that integration with knowledge going forwards. There's also intent miner, which enables people to start to kind of build the right utterances. And then some of the other future capabilities are intent health. So being able to understand how good your bot is performing, where can you optimize and improve that going forwards. And then the utterance history as well. So being able to look at what that utterance history looks like. In regards to actually digital bot flows, though, as I've previously mentioned, we're investing more into the rich media pieces. So at the moment, we've got images. We want to have cards and carousels very shortly. And then the other kind of elements of file attachments, videos, and so on. So what we also want to be able to focus on is how can we start to simplify that experience and ensure that we have that speed of delivery when it comes to digital bots. So we're also exploring the idea of templates, some skeleton related bots that you can almost just get up, be able to start running it and be able to understand better how you start to build that bot going forwards. So we've got lots on the roadmap, very ambitious, but I'm really excited to just get in and hopefully start to drive this into one of those leading digital bot providers.
Cool. And Jane couldn't be here for this recording, but she did say that there are some resources out there that our audience can check out. Apparently there's a new space for AI lovers. Do you all know what she's talking about?
Yeah, so it's a new bundle that we're offering. What we saw was a lot of customers, they had some ideas of what each of those 4 pieces do, but it wasn't always clear how they work together. And each one kind of had their own pricing model. So if they want to combine them all into a real solution like we showed, which is very, very powerful, it kind of took some advanced math to figure out what this was going to cost and what it was going to take. So this AI experience is a simplified bundle that you can just get for one single price, and you get all of those 4 pieces: predictive engagement, bot flows, knowledge, and predictive routing. So you have a very easy way to take advantage of all of those pieces and get value without being too worried about what's this one going to cost versus that one, how much traffic am I going to see here or there, and doing all of those estimates. And you can see all of this on the Genesys community as well. There's been a lot of announcements there. Talk to any of your sales reps or partners to understand what that might look like for your traffic in your business.
Gemma, Mitch, thank you all so much for coming by. Great job with the presentation. Anything you want to add before we close out here?
We'd love to see everyone's participation in AHA and the developer community. We'll be there to interact as well. So we look forward to building a great product with everyone's help.
Yeah, and take advantage of the free trial that's available in the App Foundry. It sounds like a really cool thing. Thank you all so much for coming by. It was a pleasure to have you. Enjoy your Halloweens. And I hope to have you back on the show soon.
Great. Thank you so much, Matt, for having us.
All right, everyone. That concludes this episode. Again, thank you so much for stopping by. It's good to see you. It's been a while since we've done an episode, but keep in mind the Genesys community is always doing videos. Keep an eye on our YouTube channel. I've never said this before, but I'm going to. Please smash that subscribe button. Give our videos a like. Your support is what really keeps us going, and we love making these videos for you. Other than that, Hope to see you at the fall trivia event. We've got some cool trivia stuff that's going to be happening. Just join us. Go to the community's homepage. You'll see all the links there. And of course, I want you to win a prize from the prize wall. It is not an illusion. We give away really cool stuff, and I'd love for you to get something just in time for the holidays. Great seeing you all. Hope your seasons are going well, and we'll talk soon. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in for this week's episode. We hope it was helpful and maybe a little bit entertaining. Each week, our host and experts review community discussions and debate what content to discuss, so your voice matters. Did we miss something? Do you have a question for the show? Let us know. Join the conversation at the Genesys online community. As a Genesys customer or partner, you can create an account. Just click the sign-in button found on most pages and follow the necessary instructions to create an account. Also, feel free to email us at qashow@genesys.com. We'd love to hear from you. If this is your first episode, welcome. You can view our entire archives. Go to the Helpful Links panel found on most community pages and find the QA Show archive that interests you.
Also, check out the community's prize wall for current contests and previous winners.
We appreciate your support of the show and the community. Cheers!